Actually, I'm not sorry.
Yoga is a journey where I consistently learn myself and learn things about myself. And that's what my whole essence is about. Hi, my name is Selonia, and this is For the Culture. I do this, or it's okay. I'm enjoying it.
Now I can see, but listen, some people are definitely...
I grew up dancing. So you know how when you're playing around with your friends while you're young, mine used to be a lot of fitness activities. I actually used to do a lot of headstands and handstands, and that's, I think, something that was a prerequisite to me doing yoga. That was in 2014.
One swing, one breath. 2 swings, 2 breaths until you get to 20, and then you come down again. So 20 downwards. So apparently that is an amazing your body build up the capacity to take it off.
Someone just found me chilling in class. I think I wouldn't call them a friend, but they knew me enough to know that I'd enjoy a yoga class. So they asked me to try out a yoga class, and I loved it. I loved it. So our teachers would have you sit and breathe, take that deep breath in, hold your breath, exhale, allow your thoughts to flow through without any emotion. That helped me become present, over time, practice, stretch, the workout. With time you start to notice how you talk to yourself in that class. So I started noticing, I have a lot of negative talk towards myself, and I wasn't noticing how my environment was influencing that. So that's how the journey for my self-reflection, self-love, self-care started. So it started with talking to myself, well, I've failed, okay, let's try again. I've succeeded, okay, good job. And before then, the things about me I didn't know or I wasn't aware about. So like, for example, I can get very anxious, or I was really struggling with my anger. And I don't think I used to notice it until one person mentioned it, and not in the nicest of way. They'd throw words like, you're bipolar, or you're this and you're that. And I remember trying to figure out why is this person saying this about me? So I'd just get angry. Anytime they tell me this, I reflect back and I think, why am I such an angry person? So I used to talk to myself so negatively that would bring down my self-esteem. So through my journey with yoga, I started learning how to handle my anger, how do you speak to yourself when something happens. Then with time, it started with now cleaning my environment. So I started noticing how do people talk to me? How do people affect my mood? And then I started getting rid of what I would call energy that is not productive. So that's what made me realize that short anger outbursts, they just started going away. But that doesn't mean I wouldn't get angry or still have the outbursts. So now I started actively working on my anger. So how did I do this? Journaling. Oh my God, it goes a long way. So I journal about it, journal what I want to change, practice it consistently, manifest it literally, and then keep doing that with my yoga practice.
What please pronouns, guys? She, her.
She, her. Okay, cool.
So I was so interested in doing yoga, and at the time, my parents said, you finish your degree before you start thinking about something else. And I really want this, and I was in my second year. So I can understand how they're telling me, there's no way you're stopping school to focus on yoga, finish school. So I just talked to my guru then, and I told him, this is something I really want to do. So as he's teaching, he's taking me to Kayole, doing his classes. I'm learning how to teach I'm watching him. He's even asking me, do you want to hold a class so that you can also get the practice? I'm just telling him, no, I want to learn. I was studying. You know, there's books on anatomy, there's books on yoga. I was studying like crazy. I was putting myself to the test. I was practicing. I practiced by myself. If experience is the best teacher, that's the best example for it. And in teaching myself, I'd get hurt. There's a time my back was so injured, I couldn't move for 6 months, that bad. And through that, that's how I learned how to teach what not to do so you don't get hurt, you know. That's also what made me take it even more seriously by doing online classes, online courses a lot. And I remember by the time I was finishing school, because I think that was for 2 years, I still had to do my, what I've been trained to do. I still had to work in my corporate job and try and find a way to squeeze yoga in. Until one day I just woke up and realized I'm very unhappy. So I quit. I just never showed up. So I'd take one-on-one classes, but I'll still be shy because you'll find there's that fear of not having papers. You know, you're not certified. So that doesn't genuinely make you a yoga instructor. Where eventually now I got certified. I took my certification courses. I'm still in school going to take my, is it 200 hours? Yes, so that I can teach anywhere in the world.
What a surprise! Money! Of course. Of course.
What's it like being a teacher? It's a learning process every day. When I started, I never realized I am healing people as much as I am. I did know there's a healing aspect, but I never realized how deep it goes. I have one student who once came to me. This is so recent. She has, I don't know what happened to her ankle. I can't remember. My memory is not the best. But she did surgery on her ankle. So she's tried physio. She's tried everything, but she couldn't get the knee and the ankle to be mobile. We've done classes for 6 months. And every time she gives me my flowers by telling me, Cece, thank you for telling me to trust the process. Because I'll give her assignments. I'll tell her even when it's hard to show up, that's when you need to show up. So allow me to demonstrate something small. Something as small as sitting like this was so hard for her because this wasn't allowing her to stretch at all. So we'd start with, let's sit on the floor, sit on a block, and just find the comfort for your ankle. To now, she has a lotus. It can sound as something so small, but it's the consistency of it. So moments like that make me feel so joyful, so happy, so it's a beautiful thing to experience, especially because I love teaching.
In the world. What? 10.
COVID hit, and I just wanted to do pool.
Am I the only one who's awkward with it?
And then, bro, the more chill one.
Right?
So pole dancer, seen on TV, watched a couple of videos online, always wanted to do it, never knew where to start. COVID hit, bought a pole. And not at a nice pole, went to a Juakali person, told them, this is the kind of pole I want. I don't even know how we'll fix it, but we need to figure it out. So they drilled it onto one of my landlord's houses. And it was a hanging pole. It's one of those that don't have a base. It wasn't the safest, but I really just wanted to start. I'm a visual learner and I trusted in my yoga journey. So I just started randomly climbing it. Not the best of moments, but I think that's where I needed to start from. And someone who had a studio then called Shakti reached out to me and told me, yo, I have a studio. It would be nice to have you. And that's now began my journey for the pole. There were 2 teachers there, Anthony and Kaz. So they taught me for about 3 months just what I needed to know about pole basics. So with that crash course of just being taught, this is what you need to understand about pole, grip, I'm also doing my research and I'm also practicing. I used to practice 5 times a week. I used to show up whether I'm tired, whether I'm sore. Pole gives you some friction burns. So whether I'm hurting from that, we call them pole kisses. Yeah, whether I'm hurting from that, I still show up. And that's now how I noticed, I'm growing. So I start supplementing that with food. And now a workout, what workout can help me grow stronger? Trained for, I think, 6 months. I think I was also just being thrown into the fire, the good kind of fire where you need to learn and teach. So my learning and my teaching was at the same time. 6 months practice, then I started teaching. So my background in yoga really helps because I understand anatomy. The discipline that I have really helps because now through my consistent practice, I understand what is needed. And I like that pole is technical. Let's say you're doing something as little as a pull-up. You need to understand how to hold onto the pole, what to engage, to pull up. And you need to consistently do that. So in understanding that, it helps me be a better teacher as well. And at some point, I started calling pole yoga on the pole.
Actually, I'm not sorry.
Pole starts working on your strength. Let's just start there. And your pain tolerance. Wah. I want to call the sensuality and the sexuality a benefit, a bonus, the cherry on top of that cake. And because that's not the biggest thing in my mind, it's not something I notice a lot. What I notice a lot is the strength that it builds. So coming from conservative culture, I think most of the time you want to hide the fact that you do pole because you're scared of what people will say or think or even call you, because I think it's related a lot to being a stripper or to being, can I say hoe? Yeah, to being a hoe. But essentially, because of what I know I'm getting in the pole, that's the least of my worries, especially what people think. I think more what it does to me and what it's done for my clientele is what matters. So I really love just having my own business, and I branded it and called it Cece Pole Studio, and it's my name and it's my baby and I love it.
Who doesn't love money, guys? Who doesn't love money?
Right?
I just
Right? And this is without the pole. Say less. Say
What do you offer in your studios? Like, I know you said Cece Pole Studios again.
So pole dance classes, which are also pole fitness classes. So we have that in pole strong, introduction to pole, pole tricks, pole flow, everything pole. And then we also do yoga classes, mostly yoga for flexibility, and Zumba classes, which we call our Strong Nation. So they're not just classes. The main goal here is fitness. So how the calendar is set up is to cater to your needs. So for example, if you come to me and you tell me, I want to work on my flexibility, all these classes can help build your flexibility. So let's even dive more into flexibility. It's mobility and also stretching your muscles. So the yoga classes, the pole classes, and the Zumba classes can cater to that. Let's talk about strength, same thing. I actually recommend it for all women, that hopefully every one of us can gain the strength to actually just show up for a pole class, because you don't know what you're missing.
Actually, I'm not sorry.